So today we're going to start with another episode of The Bond, and we're going to dive into the deep, mysterious world of marine ecology. You see, sustainable living is going to be explained to us with a gentleman named Todd Mansour. Now, he has a connection with Luke Brown Yachts, and I believe he also might have a fish market. So Todd is not just an educator on things like whales and the ecology and business and all that, but he actually is an advocate for waste management. And he is passionate about sustainability and sharing his knowledge with so many different people. You see, he's been asked to moderate a variety of different speaking forums, all on the topic of marine biology or fishing or a variety of different topics, all that have to do with the aquatic, mysterious underworld sea life that is all around us. He's been asked to moderate so many more forums, but he doesn't impress easily. You see, he only wanted to associate himself with the Luke Brown Yachts because it gave him that tool to help him teach others how to bond with nature. Now, you can't have a class in the classroom on ocean life. You need to bring them out into the ocean itself. And the best way to do that is with a boat. He offers a myriad of services that can help out with that. So, for example, he not only wants to educate the public, but he also wants to implement new processes that will better allow for waste management. Now, someone even mentioned that there is a grouping of trash in the middle of the ocean, which is really harming the local ecology. And some of the local wildlife has actually tried to use it like a coral reef in order to have little homes, but that shouldn't happen that way. Todd's work will help you have a strong bond with nature. You see, things like, let's take emotional health, anxiety and depression. Can you take a trip on a yacht and alleviate anxiety and depression? Well, maybe not just with one trip, but research has actually been done to suggest that spending time in nature can significantly reduce stress, anxiety, depression, foggy brain syndrome, all of those things that make you feel stuck. And if you're cooped up in a cubicle 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, taking some time out to just inhale the glorious world that nature has to offer is going to really do you right. So if owning a yacht might be a little bit out of your budget, that's okay. Normal people can rent a yacht. They can charter for a trip. That means that someone like Todd can actually help you organize how to get a crew for just your trip, sort of like rent a captain. And they want to help you with having an enjoyable experience, not just clarity of thought that comes from being surrounded by the vast expanse of nature and oceans and the majestic beauty, the mysterious sea life underneath the waters, but it is to help you get new ideas and insights. Being outdoors actually isn't just to benefit our minds. Our bodies can also benefit because we're engaging in a physical activity, probably something a little bit more stressful than sitting at a desk all day. Research indicates that being in nature is actually something that not only positively impacts your brain functioning, but also your emotional regulation. You see, it's promoting a sense of calm, of well-being. And imagine just being around that soothing rhythm of oceans lapping up against the shore or against the side of your boat. We want to go ahead and instill a sense of tranquility and balance to your soul. But of course, when it comes to something like physical health, we want to understand that our blood pressure can really get a little higher than our doctors would like. And one way of alleviating that is by being in a situation where everything is coming together to help you with your heart health. Spending time in nature could also help your immune system. You see, reducing your risk of illness will actually make you more productive at work. So it's kind of obligatory for you to go out and have some family time or me time out on the ocean. Did you know that studies have shown that actually spending time in nature can also improve sleep quality? Having a more restful sleep can actually make you more refreshed in the morning, make you more productive, and imagine drifting off to pleasant dreams, sort of like an adult lullaby, rocking yourself to sleep. So if you're surrounding yourself with the natural sounds of a bird in the air, or of a dolphin jumping in, having fun with the water, or just the casual waves, the rhythm of the waves crashing against the water, all of it's going to make you very peaceful. So Todd sat down with me to delve into the importance of marine conservation, to show me why sustainable living is so important and why a yacht could be part of that. There are countless ways which may play a part in preserving our planet's very precious ecosystem. And he explained that there's a balance in between the exploration vehicles that they build as well as the luxury vessels that they build. They can fulfill almost any request. So they can have something that has scientific equipment on it, something that maybe our Environmental Protection Agency could take advantage of, just as much as the person who really just wanted to treat themselves for a lifetime of working hard and they wanted to get a yacht just the way they want it. Todd's dedication to environmental stewardship includes educating the public, holding classes, explaining to others about the wonders of the ocean, providing sustainable seafood options in an ecologically sourced fish market. Todd's commitment to sustainability appeared to be very sincere. Does that inspire you to do the exact same things? What we're doing here on The Bond is giving you tools and introducing you to people that you can either use as a role model or contact to see if maybe they have something, a new hobby that you want to embrace. Everyone can start off as a beginner in something. If you've never tried it before, that's okay, because everyone starts from someplace. So are you ready to learn about how Todd can help protect the oceans and how marine life can actually be preserved to allow for sports like fishing? There's only one of Todd Mansour, but there's also only one of you. And what can you do to help amplify Todd's efforts? Could you volunteer? Could you learn? Could you contribute? Could you promote a healthy balance in our planet's oceans and marine life? Could you take a look at how to forge a deeper bond with nature and discover how each and every one of us can participate in that and make a difference to preserve this beautiful world we have around us, to allow the wonders of the aquatic world to delight future generations? Let's find out with our interview with Todd Mansour of Luke Brown Yachts and, of course, his fish market. We're here with Todd Mansour of Luke Brown Yachts, and we are lucky enough to get his insight into some aspects about how nature can impact man. So, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'd like to ask you first the number one feature or the most popular features that have been requested on your custom yachts.
So the number one feature, I think, is comfort. Oh, sorry, my phone. Want to start?
Well, I can see that your customers want you right now.
Yeah, so let me tone it down.
That's okay. That's excellent.
I'm sorry.
That's real life.
Real
We're
life.
catching you on busy times.
Comfort and stability is number one when it comes to our customers. People want to feel comfortable. They also want to make sure that their loved ones and their friends are comfortable. So people are trying to look for something that gives them that feeling of safety and comfort. So for each individual, that changes. For some people, comfort is being able to get there and get back fast. For others, it's the slow-moving, boat that really has stability and gives them warmth. And
but what's been your most extravagant feature for a luxury, and then what's been your most scientific feature request?
So the most extravagant luxury is what we call gyro stabilization. So we have sea keepers now that keep our boats from moving. And so a lot of new boats are built with these sea keepers, with these gyro stabilizations, but older boats that were not equipped with them, we see a lot of people buying or used boats and having them installed, and this can cost upwards of $250,000 or more as an upgrade. So that is an extravagant upgrade. There are a couple different ways that we can go to giving comfort and stabilization. One is with that gyro. The other is with working fins underneath the boat that only work while the boat is moving forward. So as the boat rocks, it stabilizes itself by offsetting the drag.
So no seasickness.
No seasickness. And so those are the things that people are really looking for these days. They're looking for, what's going to make them the most comfortable, what's going to give them the best opportunity of the day.
Now, how do you attract city dwellers who know nothing about, how do you convince them that this is a great sport to indulge in?
Well, out of sight, out of mind is something that we need to change, because our city dwellers really are the most important adversaries to our marine ecosystems. And so the more attention that we can give people that aren't living along the coast, the better. So I work very deeply with educational programs that reach out to students, to parents, to boat owners, or to people that are just looking to understand more about the ocean. And so it's very important that we educate our people about our ecosystems, and boat shows like this really bring people out and into this environment. And so it's beneficial for our fisheries, for our ocean. When people have something they see, and they have something that they can care for, so they become stewards.
So does that mean that you offer the service of chartering voyages and planning things and even providing crew?
So I've done every aspect of our ocean environment, from eco tours with charters to single passenger ticket COI boats. As far as Luke Brown Yachts, we don't provide charters. We're providing an opportunity to help people buy the right boat for what they're looking for out on the water. The experience. Some people are looking for a boat that's going to give them access to maybe our local islands or maybe global travel. We may have people that just want something that allows them to get out and maybe cruise the coast and look at some of our local animals, or even some of our migratory animals. We have a variety of different species. In fact, Dana Point, California is the #1 whale watch destination in the world.
Really? So does that mean you can follow a pod of whales around?
So you can follow whales, you can follow dolphins. Our accessibility to these wonderful ecosystems is unbelievable. So we're only about 3 miles from our continental shelf, so that provides a lot of upwelling for nutrients to come up higher in the water column. So we have a variety of different dolphins, a variety of different baleen whales, blue whales, fin whales, humpback whales. In our winter months, we see the migration of the gray whale come through here. So because of our accessibility to these animals and the climate of California, this is a wonderful spot to be a boat owner, to be a boat broker, a boat salesman, a boat captain, but it's also a great place to be an educator. So I'm on a lot of boards.
So tell me about some of the key lessons that you teach.
So I teach on migratory marine mammals, not specific to one, but we do have a focal animal that really gives the best attention, and that is the California gray whale, which migrates from the Bering Sea to the bays and lagoons of Baja every year. We can predict this animal's arrival from around Christmas, and then its departure around April. So every year we count on that whale being here. So it's a great focal animal, and that animal in itself helps us understand as boaters the vulnerabilities of our oceans. And so there's so much more to the ocean and boating and buying a boat than meets the eye.
So what is the intrinsic way that you can help a family bond over an experience of like a day out on a boat? Like, how would you encourage a family to bond with nature?
So first of all, bonding with nature it on the ocean takes a little bit of knowledge. Never go out there uneducated. Try to find out as much as you can about our local species, because some of them are vulnerable to just even the way people maneuver their boats. So Our baleen whales, we want to be very careful about how we approach them, how we follow them. Our toothed whales, like our dolphins and killer whales and stuff like that, a little bit different animal. We can get a little bit closer. But when I talk to people about, how they can have a great experience on the water and what type of boat to look for, a lot of things come into play. Are you raising a family, or has that already gone and passed? Are you, looking for something to do with your spouse and your friends as you, start to...
What's your goal?
Yeah, what's your goal? And so some of the boats that we provide at Luke Brown Yachts from either our East Coast or our West Coast can accommodate to any of that. Like, we're looking at these Everglades right now. These boats are really set up for somebody that wants to get there fast and get there in style. These are very, very, very well-built boats. But this Everglades that I'm sitting behind right now that we can't see, or the one that's actually on the wall right here, this is set up great for a family to go out and experience the ocean ecosystems, to look at whales, look at dolphins, but it's also set up to go out and go fishing, maybe go catch tuna, maybe go catch, bass or local rockfish. So it's a very versatile boat.
Do you give sushi and cooking classes after the catch?
Well, I do own a fish market, so so I'm well versed in everything. Yeah.
So what is your secret to making it delicious? Is it just being fresh?
It's not always just being fresh. A lot of it has to do with how it was processed, and if it's frozen, how it was frozen, how it was handled. So some fish, I believe personally, are excellent frozen and maybe even have a better texture to the palate, because when we freeze fish, it expands the molecule and gives tenderness to certain fish. We didn't even think of that. And so when we freeze certain fish, swordfish and Alaskan halibut are two that are great frozen. And the way that they're froze with nitrogen to instantly freeze these fish gives them great shelf life. You'd never even know it was frozen, but it actually gives us a little better texture to the palate.
So does your vessel actually help with doing a flash freeze?
So none of these boats are set up for that. Those are mothership boats that are fishing in different areas of the world.
Pour your catch on ice.
Everything here is on ice, but we do have some boats that come with freezers, chill plates, different things. So anything can be done to set up so that you can preserve your daily catch, or just have a great, champagne on ice.
Can you tell us if you've done anything for more amusement park type customers?
No, I mean, there was a time where I said that a lot of the people coming out were park hoppers looking for something to do for the day, especially when Groupon came out, and I was working in certain fields where people were looking just for something for the day, and it really did open their eyes to our ocean and its vulnerabilities and its fisheries and its animals. But it's hard to say that we're an amusement park. I think we're better than that. We're way better.
Okay.
This is nature.
So have you ever collaborated with another agency in order to help with ecological awareness or conservation?
Oh, absolutely. We collaborate with everybody. I mean, I work strictly, with CCA. I work with NOAA, National Marine Fisheries, Scripps. I mean, we all work together very tightly to make sure that we all are on the same page and protecting our oceans and their ecosystems.
Including coastlines?
Including coastlines. I mean, fishermen are probably the most conscious about our ecosystems. Oh, absolutely. Everybody misunderstands the fishermen. Most of us are, very much into catch and release. We look at conditions. We understand the vulnerabilities of what's happening with the city people, city goers that really don't understand the ocean and where everything goes. And so many things end up in the ocean or don't. The more we build, the less sand we get to the beach, because the sand comes from here, not from the ocean. So there's a lot of things that are misunderstood about, fishermen and how involved we are in protecting our ecosystems.
So I was reading a study the other day about how the sound of the water and how the being on the water was actually really therapeutic and calming for stressed out people. Have you noticed anecdotally when passengers go out on the water that they mentally change?
But it changes your whole reality. When people come out on a boat for the day that aren't normally out on the water, everything in their mind changes. It gives them a chance to escape from their realities of everything that's happening. So many people will come out fishing, and even though it might be a slow day, they'll say it's okay. It's just so great to be out on the water. And that is the saying for 99.9% of the people that come out, with the exception of the people that get seasick.
Oh.
So what's your tip for avoiding seasickness?
There are some remedies. Nothing really helps once you get seasick, but there are some things that you can take beforehand. Meeting with your doctor if you're prone, and getting something with meclizine really helps. Bonine and Dramamine work well, and I always tell my people to take a dose the night before. Never overdose on it. Take what's only what they say to take. But if you start taking it the day before, it builds up in your system, and you usually have a better time on the water.
What about the green apple trick?
It's a trick. Everything's psychosomatic when it comes to that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. So do you offer any educational resources if somebody wanted to really learn a little bit more or attend one of your classes to really understand the ocean life in there and their impact on sea life? Do you have any tips for how they can learn about that?
These days, we've got so many different resources because of what we keep in our pocket, our cell phones. You can go on to Google and literally look up so many different answers to your questions.
Like, what about waste disposal?
So waste disposal, you can go on and look at waste disposal and how that's all being handled these days with 30 million people living in Southern California. It's something that I think about a lot and talk about a lot because I'm one of the people that's concerned about how our waste disposal is being handled. And so you can educate yourself by going on certain sites. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration has information on waste disposal. So you can go there and you can look about how things are being handled, understand how we've become more responsible. I mean, look at what it was like in 1960 here, where we couldn't see the horizon because of smog and because of how dirty our waters were. And now here, and that was back when we had less than 12 million people living in Southern California. Now we have 30 million people living in Southern California, and we have cleaner water and cleaner air than we did with less than half of those people.
So what do you think? That's different regulations that have come around, or
we're conscious. We're paying attention. We're not as naive. We're really conscious, and everybody is.
So everybody's chipping in.
Everybody's chipping in, yes.
And it's making a difference. So even if you think that one little thing nobody's going to care about, it really does add up.
Pick up the bottle cap that fell on the ground from the water bottle and dispose of it properly. Don't let balloons go in the air. They end up in the ocean. People are being responsible, and they're really paying attention. We're making cleaner motors. We're at tier 3 on our diesel motors now, so we have very little emissions. We've all put in the effort to make sure that we are running cleaner boats to keep the ultimate goal: cleaner oceans, healthier fisheries, healthier animals.
Now, do you ever host events for people?
All the time.
So what's your most popular event?
So the Festival of Whales, which we just had in Dana Point, I've hosted many of times. It's a great festival, brings in tens of thousands of people. It's a great way for people to listen to speakers and people like me that are talking on certain topics. I reach out. I'm the director of education for the Graywell Foundation, and since 2008 I've taken over 30,000 students on an ocean experience so that they can understand the ocean's vulnerabilities, and I've done that without any taxpayer money. So this is all raising money, grants. We've done some wonderful things, and in that I've actually been in the classroom of almost every single one of those students. So this year I've already been to at least 300 or 400 students' classrooms or multi-purpose rooms, and given lectures on our ocean ecosystems and migratory animals.
That is amazing. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And I sell wonderful boats.
Exactly. And you have a great fish market.
And I have a great fish market.
So are there any other things that you want to share with our audience?
Just be mindful of the ocean. When you're down on the beach, if you're out on a boat, just be mindful of everything. One of my big speeches when I talk to kids, there's times where I might be hosting 120 kids on an ocean experience on boats that are 100 feet that accommodate 149 people. If you see something on the deck, pick it up. What do you do if you see something on the deck and it's not yours? pick it up and put it in the trash. So we're always, trying to make sure that nothing ends up in the ocean. Leave as little footprint as possible.
So pick up after yourself. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And that is a wonderful insight into an intelligent, well-read, well-traveled man who can give us all some great advice. Thanks for helping us build a better bond between man and nature.
Did that interview inspire you? You see, I urge you to reflect on some of the things that Todd was talking about. Nature has a profound effect on Todd. And it has a profound effect on me. It should have a profound effect on you. Even something as simple as walking outside and watching the sun rise or set. You see, we want to educate ourselves as much as we want to educate the public on how to make this world a better place. So can we promote sustainable living? Can we promote buying sustainably caught seafood and making delicious meals that are bountiful and nutritious for not just us, but our families and our loved ones? We want to go ahead and learn the best sorts of techniques. Carrying out a message like this can help us with encouraging others to have responsible stewardship, remembering that each and every one of us has the power to make a positive difference in the world, even if you think that it's just a tiny little step. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Thank you for taking the time to spend with me and Todd Mansour of Luke Brown Yachts. And thank you for learning a new technique, a new tool that you can use to bond with nature. To bond with nature first, then with our families, our loved ones, our society and communities. It all builds on each other. So until we bond again, I'll see you next time.